we are fired up now to welcome in Tobi Altizer to the tent. What up, Tobo? How do you do?
Guys? Doing great. Doing great.
What do you think today? What'd you see? Tell us what you're learning.
I thought
Tobi dressed head to toe in USA gear, by the way.
Yeah, USA
now it's
gear.
Ryder Cup, but you're showing your spirit.
Absolutely,
All
absolutely.
Right,
Got to sport the red, white, and blue for the boys out in and girls out in Paris. I thought the offense looked sharp today. I thought seeing some of the connections between Jayden and Terry was nice to see. He had one of the first 11-on-11 plays where Jayden kind of had to buy a second at a time, and Terry was able to come back on a comeback route and wasn't really that open, but Jayden put it on him, able to make the play there. There was one where it was one-on-one with Forbes, and Terry cooked him off the line. Beautiful ball over the shoulder, easy catch for Terry for a touchdown. Yeah. And the other one was a nice play action that Ertz came across the middle, and Jayden was able to hit him on the outside. It was just a crisp action with Jayden on the field today, and that's nice to see. It's something that I think has stood out the most in camp with Jayden is the ball never seems to be in harm's way, and it's where it should be, and that's more of what we saw today.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be mistakes. You don't want to you don't want to make these incredibly incendiary comments surrounding Jayden, and I saw a few today based on QB warm-ups that I just thought were absurd. But every day there's a play that makes you think this might be the guy.
Who were we talking to? And they said, Dave Aldridge, right here. He said if he goes through the year and he makes those plays consistently, that every once in a while he make a play and go, that's why they drafted him. You watch him out here sometime. He makes a play and you go, oh, I see why they drafted him. Because I've told Jay before, Toby, when I've seen plays where they missed, but he threw it in the right spot. And I'm like, okay, that's a damn good play. And people are like, well, it was an incomplete pass. Well, his receiver was messing around, didn't get to where he was supposed to get. He didn't throw it to the receiver and give him a chance to get intercepted. He threw it where the receiver's supposed to be.
Well, so they were running like a red zone sort of period, and there was one where it was third down. They're trying to get the first down, but there just wasn't anything there. Dotson's in the slot running a bit of a fade route. Nothing there. Jayden just throws it over his head. Like those sorts of things. Like if anyone's going to make a play on it, it's Dotson, but he's not able to make a play. Incomplete pass, field goal.
Moving.
You can live with that. There was one where he got through his reads. There's nothing there. He throws the check down to Robinson. It's behind him. And you can hear like, and you could tell that's Jayden frustrated by where the ball placement was. Robinson picks up 5 yards because he gets through his progressions, realizes nothing's there, gets to the check down. That's the impressive stuff for a young guy, that poise to be able to go from 1 to 2 to 3. And that's something compared to other young quarterbacks that have been here and really around the league. Seeing him be able to get through those progressions has been really impressive, as well as everything else.
I think when you get him out here, when you heard all of the stuff coming up to the draft, he kept getting thrown into that running quarterback mindset. When you watch him on the football field, he's not that. He can run, but he's a pocket passer with great running ability.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
100%. I mean, you see him out here, and if you just saw him and thought, okay, you can tell by the way he looks. But if you're just watching, oh, he's a good pocket passer. He'll take off and run. You're like, oh, he's really can scoop.
He's fast.
But comparing him to even like a Mariota, when Mariota gets out, you can see that he wants to go. He wants to run.
He's a better passer now than Mariota is now.
100%.
Mariota's 10 years
Mariota
in.
can scoot, though.
Well, and you can tell Mariota looks like he still wants to run versus sit in the pocket. Jayden wants to stay in the pocket. And then when everything's gone, then he can take off and run.
Dude, it's so early, and you don't want to say crazy things, which people are doing, right? But I think he's the best passer here probably since Alex, right? And maybe even like pre-injury out. Like that's just where he is now, like his floor. Now that's more probably a condemnation on what has been here in the post-Alex era. But just as a passer, that's not to say he's not going to make mistakes, but all these guys have made mistakes.
Yeah.
Like he's already, before he starts an NFL game, as good as what they had last year or the year before.
Yeah, I think
he could be way better and develop a lot more.
The thing with Alex had that gene of, I don't want to put the ball in harm's way, to where he checked down a lot. He went through a damn near a whole year without throwing the ball to a receiver.
Right. He went a full season without a receiver catching a touchdown.
Jayden will let it fly.
Right.
And he also understands dropping it off. So Alex Smith, I loved on the football field because the guy made play. Even after he
Leader.
hurt his leg, he was
Just
still damn good
totally.
on the field.
Totally.
Jayden seems to have Alex in him with that. I will get you down the field if you keep messing around.
I'm not comparing these guys, but you're talking about Alex Smith being more the check down guy. Rodgers is this way in that he'll get the ball down the field. He'll make sure it's in the right spots. He's going to err on the side of caution. I think you've seen that from Jayden. What's he had, like one pick all of camp? And even then, it's not like it's a bunch of drop picks. The ball just hasn't been in harm's way. And I think this is why, like you talk about him looking like the best quarterback. This is why this quarterback competition stuff we talked about the other day doesn't matter to me. He's the best quarterback out here.
Yeah.
So at some point, he's going to win the job. It doesn't matter to me when. He's looked the best. He's thrown the best. When he gets out and runs, he looks the best running. Like he just looks like the guy. So whenever he gets the nod, it doesn't matter. Like if you're worried that Mariota's starting week 1, there's no reason to worry about that.
But hold on. Let's pause. To quote the great Jeff Walker, pause. Does anybody actually think Mariota's starting week 1? That's why the whole thing has been.
No, he is right. The reason people get so upset because they're thinking about it's a real competition. It's a competition in a sense, but it's not a competition.
When Brian and I go to play golf, we bet each other. And, like, technically we're competing, right? But it ain't much of a competition. Like, it's like we know what's going to happen. B won't give me the proper amount of strokes to make it a competition.
Who wins more reps, Mariota out here or JP holes on the golf course?
Mariota out here.
I don't know. I can win 2 or 3 holes.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
spray one on a par 3. I get up and down.
No, what he does, he'll push me on a few holes because he got that stroke.
Yeah.
Maybe if Mariota was getting strokes. Yeah, I think any of the why isn't Jayden named the starter yet? Why isn't he getting the work? Is Mariota actually going to start? I think all of that is manufactured outrage, and nobody actually believes it, and it's just an attempt to stir things up. Like I'm not trying to insult anybody. If people we know or whatever like have said that, I don't buy it for a second. Nobody actually thinks the guy was taken number 2 overall. He just won the Heisman. It's different with Drake May, who is a young, relatively inexperienced guy going to New England, where they've kind of said Jacoby's getting first crack at this thing. Like everybody you talk to,
if you listen to the reports coming out of New England, it tells you Jacoby probably needs to get first crack.
Well, everybody around the league kind of knew Drake was a developmental guy and that Jayden was ready to rock. Like, this is zero surprise to anyone involved.
Well, and if you're worried about it, you're not able to be out here, whatever reason, we're telling you. Like, Mariota looks like a backup quarterback, and Jayden looks like a starting quarterback.
Right.
Now, I don't know how good of a starting quarterback yet because we haven't seen him against other defenses, but he looks like a starting quarterback.
And backup quarterback is not bad because you can make $5 to $10 million for the next 15.
Exactly right.
Oh,
who's going to complain about that?
Mariota's chilling. There's 3 of us here. Does anyone actually think there's a chance, barring some terrible situation, that Mariota's starting week 1?
Zero chance.
Zero chance. Boys in the aquarium, 0, right?
0.
Right. Like, I just think that whole subject line was manufactured outrage, and it was dumb. What did you think of the O-line getting to watch a little bit more, Toby?
Yeah, I thought Coleman looked really good at left tackle. There were a couple of, like, Luvu was rushing him one-on-one one time, and Coleman was able to hold on to him in the 11-11 period. And I thought overall they looked pretty solid. I think Coleman's really stood out to me, and he looks like, at this point, he looks like he could end up being your starting left tackle. We'll see as camp continues on. I thought the other guys were okay. I think they're still trying to figure out what's going to happen at that left guard position. We'd assume it's Allegretti, but
and you didn't have Lucas today, which kind of is an interesting wrinkle with it.
Yeah.
I think nothing this whole season is more important than Jayden Daniels' development. And if he's able to firmly take control of the QB1 position, is by far the most important thing that can happen for Washington in the 24 season.
I think it's the most important thing that can happen in the last 25 years.
Especially if he proves to be like the guy.
But the ultimate thing also is that offensive line needs to develop to make his development easier.
That's why I was going to say, we've all been talking about Coleman. They identified Coleman, liked him, drafted him. They could have taken other tackles repeatedly. They let him go, and then tackles went off the board. It took some stones, They did a little bit of Sam Cassell dance to just chill and wait and take Coleman where they got him. But that was their guy. They identified him. If that pick hits, if your third rounder becomes your left tackle of the future and you got him on a third round deal, and you don't want to get too far ahead, right? Like there's so much coming.
When I watch him,
but if Coleman could go, they did a lot
him,
of run install today. That was a question.
From all the talk I've heard about the questions and wondering what was he a guard or a tackle, dude don't look like a guard to me whatsoever. He looks like a damn tackle. Trying to talk about his size at one point, he's as tall as anybody out there, and he seems to be very, very athletic.
Yeah, he looks like a tackle. He held his own, and that's the thing. Like, you feel good about BMitch. That's one of my favorite signings. You get the veteran center to work with Jayden.
Yeah, he walks like he's just a badass.
Yeah, and I thought Sam Cosmi
his
owned.
Nickname's badass.
Sam Cosmi owned one-on-ones today, so he looks solid. It's really a question about those other guys and the big questions of the tackles. But if Coleman ends up being a guy, I mean, here's the thing. This is always going to be the Jayden draft, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But if Coleman hits, and he doesn't need to be spectacular, but if you get an average starting left tackle or right tackle in the third round, that suddenly goes from being a good draft to maybe even an all-time draft for this team.
If you want a quarterback to develop and be very good, you know what he needs to have? Don't worry about his blind side. And if that is protected, that quarterback will be whatever you want him to be. And I hit Locked On Law and said something about Dan talking about him exceeding expectations. I said we don't need him to exceed expectations. What we need him to do is just go out there and do what he needs, be who he is, and do what he needs. He can exceed expectations if comes out and be better than what they think, or be as good as they think in Coleman.
Well, and he played one-on-ones today, and he had a really good rep against Dante Fowler, where Fowler stonewalled, like I said, an 11-on-11. Luvu wasn't going anywhere. I think Jamin went against him at one point, and he didn't do anything. So he's handling his business out here. I'm interested when you get against a team that has, legit edge rushers that are going after him. Yep. What is he going to look like? But against the guys out here, he looks like he can more than hold his own, and that's a really encouraging sign.
Yeah.
I think Coleman can hold his own. We shall see. You just hope to get through everything injury-free, right? Yeah.
We're going to do a taping in the break. You're going to rush me, and I'm going to be like what Coleman needs to do.
I think Tobi should rush.
Tobi be the quarterback.
I'm more of the quarterback.
He's going to be Jayden. No, you suck.
I bet I'm better than Tobi at quarterback.
I doubt it.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Did you play high school football, Tobi?
I did not.
Okay.
Sam Hartman threw a ball, skipped into my hands today. I can't grip that football, BMitch.
Okay, well, I don't need you to throw it. I just need you to look like it. See. I don't want JP out here.
See your hands, dude.
Wow.
Damn, Tobi got some Ewok hands.
He got those hands.
I got tiny hands.
Pickett.
Yo, Kenny Pickett hands.
Look,
Tobi has.
I don't want JP.
Show everybody on the stream.
JP throws like this. Look. Tobi. JP throws like Al Bundy.
I need a glove. I'm trying to throw that football because I could not grip it.
He really is Kenny Pickett. Did you also steal Cody Beck's high school girlfriend?
I did not.
Damn, listen, I knew Kenny broke Cody's heart. I didn't know Tobi broke Cody's heart. You have mammoth hands.
Yeah. BMitch got huge hands.
Damn,
Tobi got some Ewok
hands.
hands.
The size of mine were when I was in the 5th grade.
I got the ball. Hartman missed the target, skips right into me. And I'm like, all right, I got to throw this back. I go to grab it. I'm like, I got to shot put this. I can't even grab this thing.
Hold on, pick up that rugby ball. Kerwin, can you throw me that?
That's going to be too big for him.
I mean, hold on. Let's put this on the stream. If you're watching the stream, here's Tobi trying to grip a rugby ball. You can't grip it, can you?
I don't think I can. Barely. One hand, barely.
Wow. That's funny. Tobi got baby hands.